Give me a confirmation. Visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Sorry? I'm audible to all of you, right?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes, sir, audible.
Let it initialize. Connected. Let's see what is the answer. It should be YTH does not make any sense. Let's check up the responses. Okay, let me go fast. This is not good because you have added a space in between, whereas it isn't there. Okay, so this is wrong. Okay, cool. This one's good. This one, okay, this one's good. Someone has says this is the thing. Okay, cool. This. Okay, this one is something unique. Someone has say ELC does. Why this ELC? Is there an ELC mentioned over here? No. So this is wrong. Other than that, everyone has done well. Now see this one. It says that print this one, this time. Some says it will gonna print welcome till here. Some says it will print welcome, then a space, then welcome, then a space. Some says without space, some says with space. And one more unique thing that I have noticed over here, some have said it will gonna print as vertically. Welcome. So guys, tell me what is the correct answer for this?
The first one.
It's
Without
space.
space.
The first one, sir.
Without space.
First one.
Without
And
spaces.
welcomes without space.
Okay.
Welcome.
So will it be welcome and welcome, or will it be welcome space welcome, or it will be welcome and then welcome? Which one?
First one.
The
First
first
one.
one, sir.
First one.
Sir.
Try. Exactly, it is the first one. Okay, so other than that, everything is wrong, though it has printed 9 times, but it is wrong, guys. Okay, now the example for this one. Okay, cool. Let's try this one. Example is this. Now some of you, let's see the different answers. Some says it will gonna print 1 asterisk and 2 asterisk as well. Some says it will gonna print the 10 asterisk over here and 10 asterisk as here. Okay, so these are the okay. Some says that it will gonna print 2 asterisk over here and 1 asterisk here. Okay, some says 1 asterisk on the first, 2 asterisk later. Some says 2 asterisk first and 1 asterisk later. And that's the yeah. So these are the 3 answers that I have got. So let me write it down. One says it should be 1 asterisk and then it should be example, and then it should follow up with 2 asterisks. Some says it should be 2 asterisk and then it should be an example, then followed with 1 asterisk. Some says that it should be 10 asterisk, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and then example, then 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Now guys, understand with the center thing, what the center does it when you give the length, so it doesn't define the length of this asterisk. Okay, it defines the length of the entire blocks, and then it says that if you want to put that word into it, and then whatever space will going to be left, then fill this up with asterisk. Okay, let's understand this with an representation. Okay, let me share my screen. Give me a confirmation if it is visible. Is it?
So yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. Suppose we're going to go very fast. Okay. So let's say it got stuck. It's not responding. Just give it a second. Okay. So let's say we have a variable that says has contained. Okay. Now, when I say where dot center and I give like I'd say 10 comma asterisk. Okay, where's the cursor? Okay, cool. So let me write this one as well. Just make understand that this inverted commas lies inside that. Okay, so what the center does it, the center will gonna create 10 blocks. Okay, just assume this is a block, entire block, so the center will gonna create 10 blocks, like this is 1, this is 2, and similarly it goes 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6 as well, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, okay, so if what the center, or just forget about this. Okay, just put this up. There's the cursor. There's my cursor. Just give it a second. Okay. Just assume there's nothing connected. Okay. Okay. So now what does this center do is center will gonna create 10 blocks. Okay. Now center, what we're gonna do, center will take the value of this variable that has been stored and put it inside in this block. Okay. Now if I have to make this a p p l e in the center phase, so where exactly do I'm going to place that?
2 stars on left, then apple, and then 3 stars on right.
Okay, so I'm gonna say 2 stars here. Just assume this is a star, okay, not a plus sign. Sorry, Control Z. So let's say A P P L E. Okay, and there's a star, there's a star, there's a star. So what does the center do first? It will gonna add or put all the values of that particular variable in this box, in the all the blocks being in a center position, and then it will gonna look up what all places has been vacant. So these all places has been vacant, so it will gonna put the star on this vacant places. Okay, so coming back to our example, if I say, let me share my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If I run this, I'm getting example 2 over here, 1 over here. Okay, suppose if I say it is 7, then what will going to be printed?
Example.
No stars.
Only
No
No
stars.
stars, only
only
example.
No
example.
stars.
No star, obviously no star, because it will gonna create 7 blocks, and all those 7 blocks will be filled by the value of this variable. Okay, so now we don't have any places to put this star on. How about if I say 6? Will it going to be work, or it will be by default it will gonna take the minimum length as the length of the variable, or it will gonna print me as AXAMPL, that's it, without an E, because it's 6? Tell me.
It will print with E.
Error.
Error.
T.
Error, sir.
Error, sir.
Okay, error. Let me see. It prints the entire stuff, because the minimum length can be the length of the value of the variable. Okay, if suppose this is the APLI, now I say that it should be 5. What will going to be the output?
The entire word.
Entire
string.
Word.
Entire
Because
string.
exactly, because for the center, the minimum length that it can take is the length of that string, length of the value of that variable. Okay, so it doesn't matter if I say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it will remain with the same and consider this as, you know, the entire the length of the value of that particular variable. So all this is totally wrong. This one is exactly the right one. Okay, this one is also. Now let's come up to this. It says that, what it says that you have to find using the length function. 192, 192, cool. Everyone has used that. 192, 192, 192, 192, and 192, cool. Now that for the typecasting, slicing, oh, who's that? Ria and Mole. Let me just mute them up. Cool. Now, the typecasting means to change the data type. Cool. Slicing means to cut off. Okay, that's great. Indexing means positioning of elements. Okay, so the thing that I have asked you, that you have to give your perspective at what you have understand. Okay, you don't need to be precise. So at the very end, it is the right definition that a typecasting means to change the data type. Slicing means to cut off. But if you more elaborate it, you can add something more. Okay, let's come up to this part. Someone has says finding the substring from a single string by using the indices. Cool, that's okay. Okay, most majorly of things is correct. Okay, someone has said to, okay, typecasting is a convert data type like string to, okay, integer to string and string to integer. Typecasting is a convert is, okay, is to convert a string to one data type. Okay, cool. Okay, someone has used the example as well. Okay, that's perfectly fine. It's great that if you use the example, that's really nice. Okay, other than that, everything is cool. So this is the one that we have been discussing on that following day, right? Okay, and major of you have done in a way like you have used a concatenation part. First, what you have to do, you have chop off this part using the concept of indexing and slicing, assign it into a variable. Then you use this one and does the same and convert this into the using the upper part, convert all the things into upper cases, and then you have done the concatenation. I can see that. Okay, concatenation, anything different? Anyone else has done different? Concatenation. Okay, this person has used the replace formula. Okay, so this is one of the greatest thing you can use the replace. Now let's see how it goes. Okay, I'll just copy this up. Now suppose if I say we have a string. Okay, so this is a string. Now suppose this is a two numbers. So now what you have done, you have just counted up and get the indexes of this, like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I can just chop it up and just at the end I can just concatenate. Okay, now suppose this entire line is not just two of things, it might be a paragraph, it might be a passage. Suppose let's take a passage from here itself. Let's take the passage from here itself. Suppose copy and paste. Let me see. Okay, this has got indexing part as well. Cool. So now this is the passage, and now I would say, hey, what you do, you have to change the word required to provided. Now, if we have been following the traditional stuff that we have already followed up back, then would you think that if I go with like this with the indexing part, like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, until here to find where do I have to chop? Is it a right way to do that? Anyone?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
It is a way, but it is not a right way. Why? Because it is more time consuming. Okay. For that, now we introduce one more string method. That string method name is replace. What does replace says? Replace says, first give me the string where you want to do all of your activities. I say I want to do all of my activities into stri. Now I want to call the function replace. Okay. Now replace takes two parameter. Okay. In the very beginning state, we are not going to see what the count parameter is. Now replace says that give me the old part, what exactly the current word that has been situated, and the replaceable word that you want to replace, what will going to be the new word that will going to replace the old word. Okay, suppose the old word is required. Now I want to change this word from required to provided. Okay, so now let me run this up. Let's see whether it's going to do our work or not. Now see, you can see here initially it was required. Okay, the word required. but now it has been changed it with the word provided. So you can use the replace part as well to do your things up. Okay, like this person has done, where that person, yeah, this person, what this person has done, he has assigned the entire string into a variable. Then he has called the replace part and he says, hey, change that professor that is been capital, you have to change it into smaller. Okay, but the thing is, you have to change where the default value of the email is this. You have to change into professor. So this person has done really great work. Okay, so you can do that. And one more parameter that the replace takes is the count. Okay, so what does count says that it will gonna tell me that let me show you an example. Let me say any word that has been repeating a. Okay, now I say a and it change all the a with b. Okay, let's change the a with b. Let's see what is going to be happening. Now you can see all the word that begins with a has been changed with the letter b. Can you see that? Okay, now if I say, if I add a variable, a parameter, a count parameter, suppose I say 4, what will going to do? What it will going to do? Anyone?
First 4 letters.
Sorry.
First 4 letters should be
The first 4 letters starting with A will be changed.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Anyone else?
4 index.
First 4 occurrences will be changed.
4 occurrences will be
Exactly,
changed.
exactly. The 4 occurrences will be going to change. Otherwise, other than that, everything will be remain the same. What I say 4 occurrences, when the interpreted start, does the interpreter starts from the left or the right? It will want to start with the right part or from the left part?
Left
Left
part.
to right.
Left part.
Left
Now
to right.
it will say when the interpreter starts from the left, it will going to find out all the places where it has been written like A. And when it comes to a point when it's been like A, the interpreter says that I have to change that A into B, and I have to maintain the decorum of this particular function by the count 4. I have to only change all those alphabet, all the words into something, only the first occurrence of them. It is 4, so that I'll be changing the 4 occurrence at the very first when I'm going to arrive it. Okay, suppose I say change all the B with basketball. Okay, now you can see the B is over here as well. B is here as well, and although B is somewhere here as well. Okay, let me see what is going to be the answer. Now you can see it has changed all the four B's. One is this basketball. One is over here. That this is a basketball. This is a basketball, and that's it. Because B has occurred thrice, not the 4 times. Okay. Now let tell me one thing, that earlier when I have ran, the A has been changed to B. Now I have replaced that B from basketball, but you can see the A has come back. All the places that was initially at A, now it has been A. Why is it so?
It's temporary.
It's temporary. Okay.
You haven't changed.
You didn't assign
Not
it to the
assigned
state
it to a
variable.
variable.
Because we have assigned.
It creates a copy. Okay, you have to use that word. It creates a copy of that word. Okay, it creates the copy of this thing. Okay.
So this starts from 0 or 1.
Sorry.
It starts the occurrences starts from 0 or 1.
The occurrences does in relation with the 0 or 1. Okay. If I say 0 and let me change the B with some I say cat. Let's see what is going to happen. See, did see any changes? Any changes? Here's the B, no changes.
No, sir. No, sir.
Right? So it will gonna work as predefined as other human form. I say 0, it is 0. Only the slicing, only the indexing will gonna start with 0. Okay.
So could you please change the 0 to 4 and show us what's the output and explain that again?
Okay. So can I do this 4? Okay. Now let's see what are the occurrences. Where are the B's occurring? One is this one. Okay. Now the another one that B has been occurred is over here and over here. So B has been occurred thrice. But if I say that change all the 4 occurrence of the B that comes at the very starting point. But when the interpreters goes on, it will say, oh, I have only 3. I have changed up. Now I don't have, I don't care. Okay. So let's change this up. And you can see the B has been changed by cat. This is a third occurrence. Fourth has not been involved. So that's the same. It will remain with us. If I say 5, 6 or 7 whatsoever, it will going to remain with the same because we don't have enough word that is starting or that contains the character B. Okay.
So if we don't put the count on the count value only, then it will be like all these will be changed, right?
Exactly. By default, it will change the entire. Okay. Wherever the occurrence occurs. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So now this is a quiz. Which of the following statement contains a valid print string literals? So this is not the one. Cool. So 75% says that this is a string. Is this a string? Tell me, guys.
No, sir.
Okay. Some says no. Anyone will take yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It is a
Yes,
string.
sir.
Yes.
It is a
Yes, sir.
string.
It is.
Sir,
It is
it's a string.
It is a string.
Okay, let me print string. Let's say it is a string, guys. So why the person, majority of says that this is no, and why is it a string? Anyone?
because it's
There is a
Because,
change in codes.
It is the written is double quotation.
Anything between double quotations is
How
true.
about if I remove this one and add this one? Is it a string yet so far?
Will be an
No,
error.
sir.
Will be an
There is
error.
Closing
Why?
double inverted comma.
Because the
Closing and the ending.
There
be
is no closing
exactly.
double inverted.
It should be same. Okay, the closing and the ending should be same. Okay, so this is a string. This is
oh sir.
No.
Sir, they,
No, that won't be.
it's a string.
No,
Is
it's
this-
not a string.
this is a
Not
string.
string.
No.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Then still 10%, 10 people have said that this is a string. Okay, this is a string.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 79%. How about this one?
Oh, sir.
No, sir.
This one also.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. This is
Why
a
not?
string.
It's a string.
Why not? It's already enclosed with
It's a
Not a
inverted.
string because it's
Because it is
three
It will show an error.
It's closed.
Close
Already
after.
it's
returns
closed.
error.
It will show an error.
It will
Yes, sir.
show an error. Let's see. It is showing me an error, but why?
Because
Because
Already it's closed.
You should have pair of codes.
It
Yes,
should
sir.
have 2 single quotes then.
So it is comment.
Suppose if I remove this
comment
now,
Hash is a
now
comment.
it's a string.
Now it's a
Also-
string.
Now it's a string.
Obviously, it's a string.
always remember, guys, that whenever you are using, there's a very confusion between double quotes and single quotes. Okay, the thing is, when anything is starting with the double quotes, it should be ending with the double quotes itself. Okay, and when something is starting with single quote, it should end with a single quote as well. So over here, it is no relation that the hash is not going to take. It will gonna take that it is hash, then it is a comment. So it is not the relation over here. Okay. So now if we see this one, is this a string? 73.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It's
sir.
a string.
It is a string. Let me try. But why is it a string? Why is it? It is not in a double quotes. But how that?
That doesn't matter. But
Sir, it is
starting
enclosed
at-
within
Yeah,
single
It is
quotes.
ending with single quotes.
Single quotes.
Okay, it totally doesn't matter. It is a string. Cool. Over here, it's cool. Some say it's upper. It won't be upper. Why it won't be an upper? Guys, tell me.
Upper only.
It will be capitalized because only the first
Only
letter.
first
Only
line
the
cap.
first
The
letter.
whole string to uppercase.
Upper will convert the entire sentence.
Cool, cool.
Whereas the upper converts the entire sentence.
Entire.
Exactly. Cool, guys. Now this one, some says only one person have said that it is a triangle bracket. Okay, I don't know whether it's in a sarcastic way or not, but it should be a curly bracket, right?
yes, sir.
Okay. Then some says okay ends with G. Okay, 87% says that one person has chosen false, another says error. So is it right or not?
Yes,
It's
sir.
true, sir.
Yes,
It's
Right.
true, sir.
ends with
Right,
C.
true, sir.
True.
It's not right. Anyone saying it's not right? Anyone? Come on. Okay, let's check. It's absolutely true. Okay, it totally doesn't matter whether you give us the variable that contains a string or the entire string. It will gonna work out. How about if I do this? Is it going to work out?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Error. Error.
How about this one?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No,
It will
sir.
not work.
Exactly. Cool, guys. Cool. This is good, and this is okay. Okay, 7 people says that it is true. No, guys, it's not true. Okay, it's totally not true. This is a saying.
False. It will be false.
It's
Because-
false, right?
Case sensitive.
Because case sensitive, where it's capital and there it's small.
Exactly. Though it starts with H, but it is a case sensitive. It will say, okay, it's starting from H. Okay, let's move on to next step. Now it say whether it's a capital or a small. It says I'm expecting a small, but what it is a capital. Then all obviously it will gonna return me false. Now is this lower upper capitalized? Okay, 84 says that it is welcome. That's really great, guys. It is. Okay, let me take this thing. Let me put it over here. And how about if I say a dot upper? Okay. Now without enclosing in it in the brackets, I'll say lower as well, and then I say capitalize as well. So will it affects the output of this thing? Will it gonna affect the output of that? Let me just put this into print as well. Anyone?
So only the W will be in the capital finally.
I'm saying that will this statement gonna produce me some different output rather than this one, or will the both statement will gonna print out the same output? Because over here I have put everything in a bracket as well. So tell me, guys, same output, different output. Come on.
I
Same
think it will be
output.
same. The same output.
Different.
Okay, some say different, some say
Different output.
okay, cool. Let's see. Is it different?
output.
Yes,
Same
same.
output.
Why same?
Oh, it's same.
You have to understand, guys, when the interpreter starts from here, it says, okay, I have to change this up from whatsoever it's in lower or upper, I have to change this upper. Now the input has been changed to this, right? Let me put it in the string. Is it? Yes, no.
Sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Now
Yes, sir.
is that whatsoever is the output, we're going to change it to lower. Now it's going to change it to lower. Now it will be WLCOME. Now it will say whatever is the output of this lower or the entire package, I'm going to capitalize it. When it go capitalize it, what it will gonna do? It will gonna do nothing, just capitalize the last word. Is it?
No, sir.
So
Capital.
the
Sir,
first
capitalize the
letter.
first one.
letter.
Only first letter.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So these
Yes,
two
sir.
things are doing the same thing, guys. It totally doesn't matter if I'm putting the container, because the interpreter is going in this direction, and this is also been written in the same direction. Okay, so there's no difference between that. Let's come up to this one. Okay, this is also a very basic thing. 4 people says that it's an error. Is it an error? I think it's an error. Anyone says? 84 people says it's a string, but I say it's an error. Anyone's with me? Anyone?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. Okay.
No,
Cool.
sir.
Let's
String
check
type,
this out.
sir. That's an error.
String. Cool. Because the 14.4 is already been a float. Okay. So it totally doesn't matter if I put it is in a float or not. Then converting this float into a string. Suppose if I have a what is this data type? What is this?
Float.
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 Now I say I take a variable b and I say int a. Now when I print b, the answer will be 14.9, but the data type will be int, or the answer will be 14 and the data type will be int, or the answer will be 15 and the data type will be int.
Answer will be
So
14.
15
and
14
15 and
It will be
14
15 and integer.
Answer will be
14
14.
and
14 and
15 and
integer.
integer.
14 and
14.
Anyone with the first, please? Anyone? No? Let's
No.
see. Oh, it didn't print out. Anyone can tell me why it didn't print out? Why?
You have not
Print-
taken the
Print command
command.
not so.
Print
command.
command.
Exactly. Let's see. It says 14. It won't gonna tell me, float will not be gonna, when you change the float from integer, the integer or the decimal thing, the integer says, I don't really care about whatsoever is after this point because I have to, maintain my identity. So that is 14. So the last one is this. This is a list. Yeah, this is a list, right? This is a list. It looks like a list.
dictionary.
Sir, it's a dictionary, sir.
Dictionary. It's a dictionary.
Exactly. Some says it's a set. Guys, you have to understand that the set and the dictionary has two different things, though their convention is same, but the dictionary follows the key value pair. Okay. So over here we can see what is the key? Is the pen or the thing?
Pen.
Pen.
And a thing is a value, and it won't get tuple because let's leave about the content of it, but the convention is not like a tuple, so it's not a tuple. So that's all from the assignment part. Let's come back and let's start with our today's topic. What are we going to learn today? Anyone? Come on, guys.
Data structures in Python.
Data structures. List.
Structure, and by the time I write it up, can anyone tell me what exactly is the data structure?
Lists, tuples, dictionary,
Arrangement of
sets.
data.
Arrangement of data.
Organizing a data. Can I say that it is
Structuring.
organizing a data?
Yes, sir. Structuring a data.
Structuring a data. There's one more powerful word. What's that?
Organizing of data to use effectively.
No, one
Collection of data.
collection of data. One more powerful word. There is
Storing of data.
exactly. It's the storing of data. Okay, it's a storing of data, and we can say, can I say that it's a managing of data? I can, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I would like to ask for the last time, what are the data structure that Python has?
List, set, list, dictionary,
Tuples,
set.
dictionaries, sets.
Let's start with tuple. Then I'm going to say dictionary. Just understand this is a dictionary, okay? Now the last thing is the set. We are going to start with list. Okay, we are going to start with a list. So a list is a data structure. Okay, let's understand something about the list. Okay, what are the I would say, what are the features of the list? Let me write this is as a list. Now understand one thing, that first, list is a data structure, or I would say it is a Python data structure. Okay, second part of the list is that list is it's changeable. Okay, you can alter if you can perform the CRUD operation on it, you can alter the list, so it is changeable. When I say changeable, that means CRUD operation, CRUD. And what does CRUD means? The C stands for create, R stands for read, U stands for upper, right? Or what is U stands for? Anyone?
Update.
Update.
Exactly.
Update.
And D means for to dance, right? Is it? Okay. D means to delete. Okay. So these are the operations that we usually do, and the CRUD operation has been required majorly when we are dealing with the databases. Okay. So when we are doing the databases, then we have to perform all these operations. So these are operations can also be done in the list as well. Okay. You can create a list, you can read a list, you can update. Okay. I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now you are. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So when is it visible?
Yes,
Yes.
sir. It's visible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, when I say this, it store heterogeneous data. What does that mean? Heterogeneous.
Dissimilar data types.
Data of
It
different
accepts
data
all types of
types.
data.
Different data types of
Different
data.
data types.
type.
Okay, different types of data, or I can say different data types. Okay. Fourth thing about list is, we can say that it allows duplicate values as well. What does this mean, duplicate values? Let me just write this up. It means that you can have the duplicate value. Suppose if I'm having a word like carrot, I can even have the carrot multiple times in a list. Okay. Okay. Can I hear yes? Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these are the features of a list. Okay. Let's understand the data structure in more fun way. Give me a confirmation if it's visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is the entire story is up? Treat the data structure, treat the the list tuple or the data structure of a Python as a countries. Okay. Treat these are the countries. Okay. So what it happens? There's one country called list. There's one country called tuple. Another is being set and another is being dictionary. Okay. So let it be list, let it be tuple, let it be sets, and let it be. So what happened that the country says, what the country says that if you want to be a citizen, you have to follow some kind of protocol. Okay. So suppose we are living in India right now. Okay. Now someday if you want to, if you go to US government and says, hey, I want to be a citizen of US. I want to be a citizen of America. I don't want to be a citizen of India anymore. Now America will gonna say that if you are very welcome to us, we are going to give you the citizenship, but the only thing is from now onwards you have to follow some of your protocols. Okay, suppose the Indian person went to Germany. Now Germany has another protocols. Now the Germany protocols and America protocols, are they going to be the same or they are going to be different?
Different.
Different protocols.
Different protocols. Suppose I'm an Indian, or I'm having a passport, and passport states that my nationality is Indian. Now if I have become the citizen of America, will my nationality will that has been engraved in that passport, will it be showing Indian or American? American, right?
It will be US passport.
Yeah, exactly.
So, excuse me, sir, could you repeat it again?
Okay, the thing I'm saying
Could you
that
repeat the point?
yeah, exactly. The thing I'm saying that if I'm Indian, now I have changed my citizenship from being an Indian to an American. Now when my passport will arrive, there's a special keyword called as nationality. So in this nationality, will it be mentioned like I am an Indian, or it will mention that now the nationality will be American? Will it be Indian or American?
It will be American.
It will be
American.
American, sir.
You will have
Exactly.
American passport.
And same goes like with the German as well. Okay, so the same things happens over here. The list says list, tuple, dict, dictionary, and sets. They are all have the same motive. This is that we are going to store multiple values. Earlier we have learned about variable, right? Variable stores just a single value. It could be an integer, it could be any string, or it could be any float. Suppose if I gave var 1,1, so it will going to throw me an error. Why? Because var says I am only a single container and you are about to fill only one thing. You cannot fill 2 or 3 or 4 things. Okay. So to tackle this problem, the data structures comes up. They all says we can store multiple things that you want to store us. But the only thing is if you want to use us, you want to follow a protocol. Okay. So the list says my protocol, according to, if you want to use me, my protocol is this. give me multiple multiple values. The only thing that if you're using me or using me, then you have to follow protocol, then you have to add all or have to put all the multiple values inside the square bracket. Okay, if something in a square bracket, I am going to get to know, okay, you are falling into my domination, you are from my country, and now I am going to provide you every operation that I have. Okay, similar, tuple says that, hey, if you want to come to my country from any other country and want to use my product, you have to be a citizen of my country. And to be something, you have to be you have to follow protocol. And my protocol says that whenever you do this, whenever you put any values inside the round bracket, it states that you belongs to me.
So your voice is breaking a lot.
Okay, let me just give me a second. I just switch on to the menu, next Wi-Fi. Is it fine now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the same goes with Dick. Dick says that if you want to be a part of my country, if you want to use me, you have to follow protocol. And whenever you state anything inside the curly braces, I am going to understand that it's a dictionary. But there's one more thing, that there's one of my rivalry that's called set. He's also following up the same protocol. Okay, what happens? I'll just give you an example. There's a country called Germany and there's a country called Belgium. Okay, if you're going to see both of these country flags, you will find they're just identical. Okay, the German has one strip over here, another strip over here, and another strip over here. The same flag, the same color of this German flag belongs to the Belgium also follows the same thing. Okay, now there's a rivalry between them. German says, hey, why are you using my flag? Belgium says, hey, why are you using my flag? So what they decided, okay, though you have the same flag, though you have the same color, what you can do, you can change the orientation. Okay, now instead of these strips in a horizontal way, what you can do, you can take the color and do a small changes, and this is the Belgium flag. Okay, the same follows the dictionary and the sets. Dictionary says that if you want to use me, you have to use a curly bracket, but the problem arises that there's another person, another domination, another part or another country that is using and saying that if you want to be a citizen, you also have to use the curly bracket. So what the dictionary says that I am adding one more feature out of this. Now, not only you have to put all the stuffs in the curly bracket, but it should follow a convention called key and value pair. Okay, so far, any of you have any doubt? Come on, guys, any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, so you
No, sir.
okay, so you got right. Whenever I have to use the list, I have to use this thing. And what's the name of this bracket?
Square brackets.
Square bracket. When I have to use
Round
the
brackets.
when I have to use
Parenthesis.
parentheses, okay. When I have to use sets, then
Curly braces.
and when I have to use the dictionary, then
Curly braces.
Curly braces with key value pair.
not only the curly braces, but also with the key and value pairs. Okay, so that is all about the data structure. Now we are going to do the practical stuff. The theoretical stuff is over. Now let's see. Now we are going to start the list. Now what happened that one fine day I was working on my laptop and my mom told me that, hey, I am giving you a list. Okay, you just go to a shop, grocery shop, and just buy some vegetables. So what I did is I say, okay, let me make some list. So she told me that okay, go and buy some potatoes. I say okay, potatoes. And then she told me, okay, then buy some tomatoes as well. I say okay. And then she told me buy some broccoli. I say okay. No, not broccoli, I don't like this. Let's say it's peas. Okay, I says okay, I'm going to buy the broccoli, but instead of broccoli I bought peas. Okay, and let me take one more vegetables. Guys, give me the name of vegetables. Any vegetable. Come on.
Onion.
Onion. Okay.
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower. Okay. Cauliflower. Anything else?
Brinjal.
Brinjal. I
Ladyfinger.
don't like brinjal, yeah. Okay. Ladyfinger. Okay. Cool. So this is what I have made. Okay. This is the list. Now to declare this as a list, what does list says? Put all the stuffs inside a round bracket. Okay. If I have to declare this list, this is a human list. This is a list for me. Okay. I want to buy potatoes, tomatoes, peas, onions, cauliflowers, and last but not the least, ladyfingers. Now, if I have to tell Python this is a list, how I'm going to tell Python this is a list? Come on, guys.
Put all inside square bracket.
Square bracket.
Brackets, define it to a variable.
Square bracket.
Okay. So, is it okay if I put square bracket here and square bracket here? Is it a list?
No.
So,
No, sir.
One in the ladyfinger.
Only
No, it's
one.
not a list.
Yes,
Ladies.
after ladyfinger.
After
Exactly. So,
ladyfinger.
I have to put now this is a list. Is it?
Yeah.
We have to store it in a variable.
Store it in a
Exactly.
variable.
Now I have to store it in a variable. Why? Because suppose if I'm writing thousands of codes and at one point of time, I want this list over and over again. So if I just copy and paste, that is not a great way of writing because it will gonna increase the redundancy. It will gonna create the, the copy of everything. So it is not a right fit. So instead of that, what I do, I'll just assign it into a variable called lis. Now, if I'm going to run it up, let's see what's the output. Okay, it's connecting. Let me see. Okay, initializing. Cool. Okay, cool. Now everything has been assigned in a list. Now, if I say type lis, so will it going to give me a list? Will it going to give me a string? What? Integer? Anything else?
List.
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 Give me list. Okay. Okay. So it is saying that it is a list. So now, guys, we have made the list entire up. Now, suppose someday I say, okay, I just make everything as it is, the variable list as it is. Now I do this. Now is it a list or what it is?
It is a
Tuple.
Tuple.
It's tuple.
Is it a tuple? It is a tuple, right? Now
Yes,
if
sir.
I type list, so instead of list, what should be, what should be the output over here?
Tuple.
Tuple. Let's see. It is a tuple exactly, guys.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello. I am audible to all of you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes,
it's
sir. Audible.
Audible.
Okay, cool. Now someday if I do this, now what is it?
Set.
Set.
That's
It can
Set
be
of
dictionary as well.
vegetables.
It can be dictionary as well, right? So why it's not dictionary?
So there's no
Because there is no key value pair.
Value.
key value pair.
value pair.
Key value
That
pair
is
is
not
not there.
Because it is not following the key value pair. So now if I print this up, it will going to say that it is instead earlier it was like tuple, now it is set. Okay. Let's get back to list where we were working. Okay. Now this is a list. Let's me print the list. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me print the list. Now you can see everything is there in a list. Okay. Now what happened? Now I want to access. Okay. Now I want to access, I want to access onion. So in the previous class, whenever we want to access or whenever we want to access an element with their addresses, what concept do we use?
Indexing.
Indexing.
Exactly, guys. Indexing. So
indexing.
over here as well, we are going to use the concept of indexing to access the elements. Okay, to access the element. Suppose if I say lis and I say I want to access the element cauliflower. Now, what do you think will be the index of this cauliflower? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
-2. Minus
Some
2.
say minus 2 exactly. Okay. So some say it's 4. Okay. Some say 5. Anyone with 5? No. Okay. So let's see.
Minus 2.
Exact. Okay. So we have cauliflower over here. Okay. Now, guys, the thing is, I'll just make you understand one more simple topic, and we are going to go ahead. Give me a confirmation if it's visible or not. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Visible.
So during the school time, you have all studied the number system, right? Numbering system. Yes, no, yes, no.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, and this goes on and on. So what comes over here? Anything?
The negative.
Minus 1.
Minus 1, minus 2, and it goes on. If I say 1 is greater than 2, is it right?
No,
False.
Sir.
False.
Okay. If I say minus 1 is greater than minus 2, then
Yes, sir. True.
True.
exactly, it is
True.
okay. So this side known as in indexing part. Okay, this side is known as positive indexing. Cool. And if it is positive, then what will going to be the other half after 0?
Negative.
It
The
would
negative
Negative
indexing.
Negative index.
exactly. It would be gonna say name it as negative indexing. So what this negative indexing does it that it says you can access a variable by using the positive indexing as well and negative indexing as well. And one more thing, that positive indexing, let me just remove this and add this over here. Okay, let me name it as negative indexing. And the thing you have to make sure that positive indexing always start with 0. Okay, so now understand, if positive indexing starts with 0, then negative indexing starts with
Minus 1.
Minus 1.
minus 1. Just see this line. Okay, this is a positive indexing. This is a boundary where the indexing starts. If it's positive indexing, then it starts with 0. If it's negative indexing, it starts with minus 1. You have to understand this thing. Okay, now how does this go? Like, how is it relevant? Okay, let's understand how is it relevant. Let me just stretch this up. Let's go here. Just copy this. Image. Cool. Cool. Can you see that? Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So
Yes,
now,
sir.
see, if I have a string, let's start with a string. Okay. So Monty space Python is a string, and how it has been divided when we are when we are looking into the indexing format. When we say 0, 0 has been assigned to M, or I would say the M has been assigned in the place of 0. So whenever I say 0, M will gonna call up, and that's how it goes. Okay, this is called the positive indexing. How the negative indexing works is, it's first of all, it starts with minus 1. Okay, like positive indexing starts with 0, it starts with minus 1, and I can even access all of this with even the negative indexing as well. Suppose I say I assign this into a variable. I say a is equals to this. Okay, I say a is equals to this. Now if I say a indexing of, suppose I say 9. Okay, so sorry, indexing 9. So now at 9th position, what's the character? Is it H or is it O? Is it T?
H.
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 Okay, now understand, some say that why not T? It's also on 9, but you have to understand it's a positive indexing. You have to see the sign convention as well. Over here, it is not any sign convention. By default, it is positive. And we have a negative convention over here. So we're going to hit this one. Okay. If I say a minus 9, so it will return me true or false? False. Any true?
False.
False.
Any true?
False.
It will return me false because the position, now see the position, it is a positive indexing, and at the positive indexing I have the letter H, so it will say that H equal to -9. So what's the character that has been assigned in the -9th position? It is T. Now is H is T? No, it isn't. So that's how the negative indexing works. Okay, you can access that using the minus convention as well, and you can access that as a positive convention as well. Okay, so if we come back to our, let me share my notebook. Give me a confirmation if you are able to see that. Give me a confirmation.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Visible.
now
Yes,
potato is the index value of the potato is 0. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. When I say the cauliflower, I can call this and access this by saying list indexing 4, and even though I can say as list minus 5 or minus 4, right?
-2. -2.
Okay, why -2? Does it start with 0?
Starts
No,
with
it starts with
-1.
-1. If we are talking about the negative,
-1.
start -1, and this is -2. So the answer or the output of both will be same. Let me print this one, and by default it will gonna print the last line, so no need to add the print there. Now let's see cauliflower and cauliflower, you can say that. Okay, if you add the print statement, it will gonna provide you, it will gonna remove this one as well. So this is like how you can access. Okay, this is the part you can access that. Suppose now let's use the concept of indexing in this list as well. If I say list, the name of this a variable. Okay, now I say 2. Now which concept I am using right now? Tell me, what's the concept that I'm using right now?
Positive indexing.
The positive indexing. Now if I add the colon, which concept I am about to use now?
Slicing.
Slicing.
Slicing. Exactly. Now I'm going to use the slicing. If I say 2, and 5, so what will going to be my output right now, guys? Sorry,
From peas to ladyfinger.
Peas to ladyfinger.
Peas to
Peas to
ladyfinger.
ladyfinger.
Okay.
Peas to cauliflower.
Peas to cauliflower.
Peas to cauliflower.
Okay. Anyone else says tomato to cauliflower? Anyone? No. Let's see. Peas to cauliflower. Why, guys? Because it involves this. It includes this starting point but excludes the ending point. Remember always that. So it's when I say slice it from 2 to 5, it will say 0, 1, 2. So when I say it includes the starting points, that means it will gonna include this P, right? It will gonna include the P, then it will say and it will go into onion and say what's your index number? It will say my index number is 3. It will say okay, come, because you are under the range. This is 2, 3, this is 4. When it's come to 5, fifth one, it will say I have to exclude that. I am going to exclude the number where you are saying that. Okay, so I'm going to exclude you. I just print till this. Suppose if I want to print the lady finger as well, so what will go into the value from 5 to 6?
6.
Okay, now enter. I got the lady finger. It's in a list as well. Okay, so that's how the slicing works, and it is called the range of indexing. Okay, it's called range of indexing. By this you can use everything. Okay, now one more small topic of indexing that I want to cover it up. Suppose I say I have a string. Okay, I say this is hello and this is world. Okay, now the slicing has 3 parameters. Okay, one being the start, one being the end, and one being the increment / decrement. You can say that, or you can say it as skip. Okay, at the very payment line. So what is skip says that you can start with the starting value, and then skip says that whatever you are going to give me a number. Oh, let me just mute. Let me mute Okay. Let me mute him as well. Let me mute him. Cool. Okay. Guys, you always have to, make sure that your mice is always in a state of off. Okay. Now this, what is the skip? Skip says that give me the value. Okay, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatsoever. I will skip using that value. If I say that skip 2 steps, so if I start from H, the next value will be E. Okay. If I say use the pattern and skip 2 steps, so next I will gonna say H, and now I'm going to skip 2 part. Now one it will going to E, then it will going to L, and now the L will going to be printed out. Okay, it will gonna skip L because I'm following a pattern of 2. Suppose I say starts from 0, ends to like I say 9. What is going to be my output now? Come on. Hello.
Hello world.
L.
Up to R.
T up to L.
Up to R.
Up to
Up
R.
to R.
One.
Yeah,
Okay,
up to R.
it's up to R. Okay. Now if I say increment that with 2, now what will going to be the output?
Up to D.
HL space
H
W.
L.
HL space.
It will print starting from index H and alternative numbers.
Okay, let me go here and let's see how is the output is different from the previous one. It says HLOWR, and how does it happen? Let go and explains it.
And it's keeping 2 positions.
Exactly. If I'm having a very value called as hello world, now what exactly it is doing? Okay, I'll explain you over here. Okay, if I having the one Monty Python, if I say okay, run from 0 to 11, it will gonna run as usual 0, then it will gonna 1, then 2, then 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and so on and so forth. But if I say hey, you want, I'm giving a value 2, that means you have to say that what we now you have to say what is the maintain a gap of 2. Now if you start from 0, okay, now you have to skip another, the second variable or second value should be printed, not the first one. When I say 0, then what the first, that is 1. What the first from 1, that is 2. What is the first one from second, it will be 3. Now with the gap of 2, the item will be 0, mon M, 1, I want to skip that, and then 2, then it will be M and N. Okay, it will be small n. Then from 2 it will add plus 2 as well in the this index. The index comes to 4. It will jump to the index 4. That is y. Then it will add y. Then it will add 2 over the index here. It will 6. It will skip the 5. It will directly jump over this 6 and then print p. And that's exactly what is happening over here. Okay. So when I say 2, what is doing? It's taking the index of 0, adding the 2 in the index, that is 2. Now I will say that give me the index of give me the value that has been in the index 2. Don't give it to 1 or whatsoever. It should be 2. Now H, E will be skipped, then it will go into L, and that's how we got this. Okay, so you have to remember these all things. These are the main things that you have to remember now. Let's move on to the list. We were talking about list. We have seen how to create a list and how to access the list. We have follow CRUD operation. In the CRUD operation, we have seen the C part that says create. We have seen the R part, that is read. How do you read that? Now let's come up to U part, the updation part. Okay. Now let me print the list over here. Now what happened, while I was buying all this stuff, my mom called me and told me, hey, I just checked out the refrigerator and we found that we already have some peas. So what you do, you just don't bring the peas, instead of bring some dhania. Okay, let's say dhania. So what I did is I just crossed this up and just put dhania instead. So this is called the updation. Okay, I am updating a value. So how we am going to update that? First, I am going to access this P. So to access the P, I am going to use the concept of indexing. Now I say LIS, and I say what should I write? What value should I write so that I can go and I have the value of P's over here. I can access the value of P. Come on, guys. Anyone? Really excuse me, guys. I don't know what's got into my net and it's not working. Okay, is it visible?
Yes.
Okay, tell me that if I want to access the P, the value P, what index should I write over here to get the value P?
2.
I'll write 2. Let me print it out whether it's P's or not. It's P's. Okay. Now what I say that I want to change the value. I want to update the value of P's to dhania. So what I say, I'm going to use the assignment concept. Okay. So assignment concept will be, now I say your value may be P's, but now I'm saying that from now onwards that P should be dhania. Okay, it's caps dhania. Okay, or it should be coriander. I don't know what's called. Okay, when I say this thing, now from now onwards the index, whatever value it's associated with the index 2, now its value will be changed as dhania. Now if I print LIS, so what do you think? Will it give me the updated version of the list, or it will going to return me the initial list that was already declared?
The updated one.
Updated version.
The updated version, exactly, guys. It will gonna give me the updated version of the list. See, now you can see dhania is there, right? Now that's how you do all the updation part. Okay. Now let's take some examples. If I say, now my mom called me and told me, hey, just add one more thing, the product milk. Okay, add milk to your list because I don't have milk. Now understand, when I say to add that up, that means I don't have to, update it. I want to use the concept of adding this up. I am adding a new value to my list. So what? There are 3 methods when I say for adding up. Okay, the method is called as append. One is extend, and one is insert. Okay, so these 3 methods, the main thing is to add up, but how to use it, it is totally different. Let's see. I say I want to add something in a list. So first of all, I will mention the list name. Then I'm using the adding up. I'm saying add. So if I have to use the append function, I can use by putting the dot and then say append. What I have to append, I am going to write over here. I want to append milk. When I hit the enter, now let's check our list whether it's got appended or not. Now you can see it has been appended over here, right, guys? Okay. Suppose I say list dot append, and I say what should I say? I say biscuits. Okay. Now what will going to be my output if I print LIS?
At the last of milk, like at the last of the
biscuit will be printed.
Okay. Any answers? Any more answers?
So you didn't run the shell.
Instead of milk, biscuit will print.
I didn't run up the shell, so if I even print the list, I'm going to get the exact thing that has been earlier. But now if I print list.appended biscuits, now if I'm going to print LIS, the list, what is going to be the output?
Instead of milk,
Biscuit
biscuit
will be
will
printed after milk.
Add biscuits at the end alongside milk.
Let's see, exactly over here, biscuits. So what does append function do? Append function adds the elements Okay, where does it add? Into the list. But one thing we have to figure out that whenever I'm using the append function, it is adding the particular value at the end, at the last, right? You can see that milk has been added at the end. Before we have added biscuits. Now when we have added the biscuits, it has added up to end. Okay, that's the only thing you have to remember, that it will, you know, adds the element in the list in the end. Okay, now what does insert says? Insert says I am also going to do the same thing. I am going to add the elements. I am also going to add the elements into the list, but not in the end. Not in the end. I will be adding the value wherever you want me to add. Okay, it says that I am going to add the value wherever you want me to add. Suppose I'm going to use first I have to mention the name of the list where I'm going to do all the operation, then dot, then I'm going to use insert. Inserts takes 2 parameter. Okay, inserts take 2 parameter, one being the index, second being the value, or I can say the second being the element. Okay, so this is my entire list. Now I'd say that on the second position, now I'm saying second position, okay, not the indexing. So when I say in the second position, I am having tomatoes, the vegetable tomatoes. Okay, what I want to add on the second position, I want to add some pencils. I forgot to add some pencils, but now I remember. Okay, I want to add some pencils. So what I do, I'll just add the index where I'm going to add. I'm going to add at the position 1. Okay, the position 1, and I'm going to write the element as pencil. So what it will gonna do, it will gonna, you know, take away the indexing from the tomatoes, that, and it will say that from now onwards you will not be the holder of the index 2. Now the holder of the holder of index 1. Now it will be pencil. So let me run this up and let's see what is going to be the output. The output says, what is it says? Exactly, it says that now from now onward, when I call the indexing 1, so earlier when it was calling the tomatoes, now it will going to call me pencil. Okay, so that's how the insert works. It says that I am also going to add the element into the list, but the only difference is that I am going to add elements into a list with respect to the index. Okay, or I say with respect to the provided index. You have to tell up that I want to add this element at certain index, and that's how it gets printed. Now what does extends do? What does extends do? Okay, so what does extends do? Extends says that I am also going to add the elements, but the only difference is I am going to add the elements of 2 or more dictionary into 1. Okay, what does it mean? Let's see. Suppose I'm having a variable, let me see, ELE. Okay, ELEC, and let me have some electronics over here. Let me say I am having a laptop. Let me say I'm having a speaker, a microphone. Okay, that's it. Now I say I have ELC. Now I say I have some games. I have a variable called games. Now tell me some games name, guys. I don't have anything in mind. Any game name, guys?
Genshin Impact.
Give me a short form. Okay.
Temple Run.
Temple Run. Okay.
Valorant.
Temple Run.
COD.
Okay. Some say COD. Anyone else?
Clash of Clans.
Candy Crush.
Valorant.
Vice City.
PUBG.
How can we forget PUBG? Okay, that's it for now. Now, how to use extend? Extend says that whenever you want to, if I what it said, the next time I'm going for the for the doing the groceries, my mom gave me a list. this one. She said that, okay, when you are going outside, you should make sure you should buy a laptop, speaker, and a microphone. So while I was leaving the home, my brother sees, okay, he's going outside, what I should do, I'll also give him a list and tell him, okay, from me, if you are going to like Nehru Place, there's a place called Nehru Place in Delhi, okay, if you're going that place, you just buy me some games called Temple Run, you buy me some COD and COC and BS. Now currently I'm having two lists. Okay, so I found that having a two list will be a very hectic task. It might happen I can, to manage that two list is very difficult. It might happen that I might lose one. So what I did, I prepare another list. I say I want a list, I want a new list, which will going to have all these values. Okay, I'm going to prepare a new list, the single list. I'm not taking care of like two lists. I'm just preparing one single list. So what I do, I'm using the function called extends. What does extends do? Extends adds the elements of the two dictionary into one. So if I say I want to add all the elements of my brother's list into my mom's list. Okay, so I'll say ELEC dot extend. Now GAMES. So what it does, it will take entire content of this list and I will gonna add it up into the list called ELEC. When I run this up, now if I run ELEC, so no, let me run games first. Now if I run games, now let's see what is going to be the output. The output will remain with the same, right? Earlier the value of this one was this and now this is this. Okay, so nothing changes. But now if I say ELEC, if I'm calling my mother's or my mom's list, what will going to be the output? Will it be remain with my mom's list, or it will going to be the combination or the combination of the entire list? Tell me guys.
Combination.
Combination of the entire list.
Combination. Okay, let's see.
Combinations.
Exactly. See, I have got a single list instead of having the hectic of taking the two lists together. What I did, I am going to have the single list where I am having the entire value. Okay, so now I know which whatsoever I have to buy or not. I am having a single list. Okay, now we have seen come up. Okay, now we have seen create, read, we have seen updation. Now one final thing has been left in the CRUD operation, that's called D. And what does that D means? Guys, anyone else? Anyone, please.
Deletion.
It's called, okay, cool. It's called delete. Okay, it's called delete. Okay, suppose if I'm having a list, this one ELC, my brother called me up and said, hey, what I found is don't buy Temple Run because I've already got to know that I can easily download it on my phone and I can play that. Now I want to strike this off. Okay, now I want to strike this off and to delete. Okay, I just write a comment to delete or to perform the deletion. We have three parts. Okay, we have three. I would say three functions like we have in for the adding up the list. Like I just add the comment over here. Sorry, it went that way. Adding the list. Okay, now we are to perform the deletion of the list. We have three functions. And what are the three functions? Let me see. First being the remove function. Very simple, right? It's a simple English language. That's a remove. Another function is called pop. Okay, this is a pop that has where we'll be using a stack and queue. When you are watching the data structure part of video, you'll definitely get familiar with this pop. Okay, and finally we have the keyword called del. Okay, let's see how all this works. So I want to remove some elements. So I want to remove some elements from a list. So for that I have to declare a list. Okay, in which I have to do the performance. I'll say ELEC. I want this part. Then I say dot. It will going to open me all the function that I can, or all the function that I can perform using the list. So I say, hey, I want to use the remove function. Now remove function says, what do you want to remove? Very simple, very straightforward. It will say, what do you want to remove? I say, hey, just remove Temple Run from the list. Now when I run up this, and now if I'm going to print this up, so do you think that temple run will be there or it will be removed off?
No, sir, it will be removed.
Removed off.
It will be removed.
Removed off. Okay, now see, it will be removed off. Okay, so now temple run has been removed. So this is the first way of removing or first way of deleting. Okay, now the second way, my brother called me up and he told me that, hey, now don't buy PUBG. What happens that I have used the VPN and now I have started using the PUBG as well. So don't buy it and waste your money. Okay, so okay. Now I'm going to use the second method to pop this up. Sorry, to delete this up. Okay, that is pop. Now pop says the remove says that give me the name of the element. Okay, it says that give me the name of the element. Okay, so if I have to say in a very layman term, it says that जिसको तुम्हें मारना है उसका मुझे नाम बताओ. Okay, and pop says जिसको तुम्हें मारना है उसका मुझे एड्रेस बताओ. Okay, so it says that give me the index. What is the index? Index is the address of that particular element. Okay, now the same thing remains with the same like ELEC. I say POP. Okay, now I have to give the index, and what is the index for PUBG? Come on, guys.
-1.
5.
-1.
Okay,
5.
so it could be 5.
-1.
It could be -1.
5.
But guys, you have to understand over here we want to consider -1. Why not 5? Because saying -1 is very easy right now. Okay, but for the 5 I have to count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But for the -1 I can instantly say that it's -1. Okay, though all the thing is correct, both of them is correct, but we are going to consider -1 because it is not much time consuming. Okay, now let me hit enter. Now it says that PUBG, I have removed this PUBG. Suppose if I say ELEC, now it will going to make me a copy. Is this a copy of the thing that has been popped? Or if I print the ELEC, so the PUBG will be removed off or it will be remain there?
Removed.
Removed.
Off. Let's check. Come on. It has been removed, guys. Exactly. Okay, it has been removed. Suppose if I say ELEC.pop and I don't give an argument. Okay, so what happens that by default, okay, by default it will going to delete. It will going to delete the last element. Delete the last element of the list. Okay, okay, so by default if you don't give any parameter to it, it will going to delete the last element of the list. So if I have to perform this entire pop without the parameter, now which of the element do you think will going to pop off? Is it laptop? COC. Exactly the COC. Okay, if I run this up, so what will going to be my answer? A list with having what all elements will be there. If I run
From
this,
laptop to COD.
okay,
From
anyone?
laptop to COD.
Okay, anyone else? Anyone with that says COC? It will be COC, guys. Why? Tell me why it will be COC. Anyone?
We have not run the cell.
I haven't run this cell. Okay, if I run this cell now, and now if I'm going to do this, now I can say that the COC has been
Laptop to COD.
Okay, so this was the second method. Now the last but not the least is the del keyword. Okay, so what does del say?
The same thing happens in remove too.
Why only the last?
By default, pop says
Sir,
that
do the same thing and remove too.
okay, just one thing. Okay, one by one. Yeah, please go ahead. Hello.
Yes,
So
sir.
why the last one removed?
Okay, the last
Why
one
not
is
the
that-
first
yeah,
one?
Okay, the last thing is that in the previous example, if we see, we have giving it a parameter. Okay, we are giving a parameter to the pop function that remove this one. But what happen if we are not giving any parameter? So if you're not giving any parameter, it will going to pop up the last element. So just understand one thing. My mom told me that, hey, take this money and buy me a butter. Okay, so what I did, I went to a shop which is nearest to my home and I just bought it by default. Now next day my mom told me, go and buy butter from that specific shop. Now I'm going to follow up that to that particular shop and then getting that butter from that particular shop. If I'm not been giving any parameter, if no one is telling me, okay, you have to do this or what to, so by default I'm going to remove or pop up the last element. Okay, did you get that?
So because the last element is at the
Yes,
top.
sir. Yes. Sir.
Okay, that's clear, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sir, so
Yeah.
I have to ask that same
Yeah.
thing happens in remove too, that if we don't give the parameter, it will remove the last one.
Okay, let's see. ELEC remove. If remove takes by default, it has the it says that by default I am going to delete. If you are not giving me any parameter, I'm going to delete the last element. Does remove have anything anything similar? Okay, let's me write this as REMOVE, remove. Okay, so let's see, does it have or not? It doesn't have. Okay, it's what is saying, remove takes exactly one argument. So remove says I don't contain any default part, I need to have some instruction what to do. Zero given. Okay, but in the pop function, when someone was writing the pop function, they have written it in a such a way that even though if I'm not getting any parameter, okay, I will return something. Okay, and in the remove part, someone has written in a such a way that if you give me a value, I'm going to give you something, but if you don't give me a value, I will raise a error. Okay, I'm going to raise an error. So that's a very simple concept. Okay, now the last thing.
Okay, sir. Okay.
For the
Hello?
yeah, please.
Hello?
Yeah, please go on.
If we give index number to the remove, what will it print?
Sorry.
If we give index number to the remove, what will it print?
Okay.
Is it a error or it will print something?
It would be an error, right? Because I have already told you that remove will gonna take up the value name, not the index. Let me show you where I have written that. It's insert move. Okay, I haven't written that anywhere. Okay, over here. Remove, give me the name of the element. Okay, remove says that give me the name of that element. Pop says that give me the index of that element. Okay. Now, if I say that remove,
My question is
yeah, go on, please.
Yeah, my question is, if the list contains the integers, we give that as an integer number, like 1 or 2.
Exactly. If you are using remove, okay, let me just do this and just okay. So you mean that if I am having a list, I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. Now, if you want to remove a number, okay, let me say num dot remove. Okay, I want to give the value over here, guys. Okay, if I want to remove 7, okay, let me say if I want to remove 4, I write 4 over here. 4. So do you think it will going to remove the element 4 or the element that has the indexing 4? Is it will gonna remove 4? It will gonna remove element 4, right? It will going to remove the element 4. Now if I say num, now it will see, you cannot find 4 anywhere. Okay, so don't get confused in that. Remove says that I am only going to remove the element, whereas pop says that I am going to remove that element which is at that particular index that you are going to give me. Okay, and if you're not going to give me any index,
thank you.
And you're still using me, I'm going to pop off the last one. Okay, now the last thing we are going, yeah, please.
So if there's a list within a list and you want to remove an element in the internal list, how do you do that?
So suppose if we have a list and we have a list in a list. Suppose I have 1, 2, 3. I have 4, 5, 5. Is it the question, right? This is the thing that you're trying to say.
Yeah, more like comma 1, 2, 3.
You are saying that if we having a list in a list, right? This is the exact representation of a list in a list, right?
Yes, yes.
Now you are saying that if I want
So
to
what if I want to remove one of these?
You want to remove the element of a list, or you want to remove the entire list in a list?
No. For example, if I want to remove 5.
You want to remove 5. Okay, now let's see how we are going to access this up, guys. Okay, now to access something, what concept are we going to use? Come on, guys, fast.
Indexing.
Indexing.
If I say LISTI, indexing, now I have to say that this entire list has been in the position of 0. Okay, don't consider that this is in 0, this is 1, this is 2. No, this entire thing is in the 0 because it's a list of a list, and list can contain multiple data type. It can contain list, it can contain dictionary, string, integer, anything. Okay, so if I say list, sorry, not list, listy, the name of the list, and 0. So what will going to be the output? Is it 1, or it will going to be the entire this list? 1, 2, 3.
Entire list 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Entire list.
1, 2, 3. Now the student says that if I want to remove the element 5, so if we have to remove the element 5, first you have to get access to that particular list. To get the access for the particular list, what will going to be the index? What will going to be the index?
Minus 1.
It could be
1.
It could be minus 1. Okay. It could be 1. It could be minus 1. Okay. There's no confusion in that. If I say 1, we have 4 by 6.
1 is to 1.
4, 5, 6.
Okay, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm having the liberty of this entire list. I can access it. Now if I want to use this up list, now I would say that, suppose I want to access the element 4, I would access this up using 0. So what will going to be my output?
4.
4.
Yeah.
Give me 4. Why? Because let me just mute that person. Could you just mute yourself? Or do I have to do that? Okay, cool. Now what happens that it will gonna first take the first element that has been in the list. The first element in this list is this thing. Okay. Now if I'm treat this as 1. Okay. Now treat this as 1. This is the one thing. This is the entire list. Now I am accessing the list with this thing. Now if you say I want to remove this 5, I would say, okay, if you want to remove this 5, what I can do is I say listy, the name of the list. Now I want to access the element. I want to access the element 1, which is the entire this list. And in this entire list, there you will gonna find out some variable named 5. Just remove that 5. So will it going to work out, guys? Come on, guys. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
No,
Yes,
sir.
and it is a big yes. Okay, is it clear? The person who have asked that question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool, guys. The last thing that we are going to discuss and we are going to wrap up the list is the keyword called del. Okay, it's similar to delete, right? And it is a delete. Okay, delete say that if you want to use me, you have to first declare me. Okay, every function has a different type, because you understand the Python means Python. Not a single person has created the entire function. There are multiple person who have created a function. So some may have a different ideology. Some says I have written a function, you can access it with doing this. Some says I have defined a function, you have to access it using this. Okay, some says I have defined a function and you have to use that function, you have to define like this. Okay, so don't get confused. It's just about the syntax. Okay, how the syntax goes on. Okay, now The del says that you have, if you want to use me, you have to write the keyword first, del, then a space, and then in what you want. If you want me to perform the deletion, and what do you want me to perform the deletion? I'd say please kindly perform the deletion on the list ELEC. Okay, I'll just print the ELEC to check the value. What's the value of ELEC? Come on. Okay, now I say delete the ELC, and what will going to be inside it? Will it going to be an element, or will it going to be a index? Come on, guys.
Index.
Some say
Element.
Index.
So del says, come on, where's del? Okay, del says, I'm going to delete it. Okay, just give me the index. Okay, now if I say ELEC remove my I say Z2. Okay, so which among all these 4 elements do you think will going to get removed, deleted, or pop off? Come on, guys.
Microphone.
Microphone. Why not speaker? Why not speaker? It is 2. This is 1. This is 2. Then why not speaker?
No,
Start from zero.
Index
starting
is
from
1.
Speaker is the second element.
Index starts from 0.
Index starts from 0, or more precisely in Python, index starts from 0. That's a perfect answer. If I use this up, and then let's see. Okay, then let me print the ELEC, and finally we are going to get a list which doesn't have any microphone in it. So that's how we perform the CRUD operation, and these are the operations that are going when you are going into doing the software engineering part. Nothing will come beyond this part. These are the only function that you will be using to develop the entire software. Doesn't matter it's web development, doesn't matter it's game development, mobile application development using Python, web scraping, or whatsoever. Let me add some cherry to the pie, and let us understand some of the major extra function that
Voice is cracking a lot.
okay, just
Your voice is breaking.
It's so difficult to understand.
okay, just give me a second. Okay, tell me it's good now. Is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So let me move back to the screen. Give me a confirmation first whether it's visible or not.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir, it's visible.
So let's take a fresh list. Let's say grades. Okay, grades. So what happened? I gave an exam. Okay. So what happened that I didn't perform very well in that exam. Okay, in my semester exam, it was from out of 100. So there was a subject called operating system. So I have scored like suppose 38 in the in my operating system exam. Am I audible? Give me a confirmation, please.
Yes, sir, you
Yes,
are.
Sir, you're audible.
Okay. Now second subject was compiler designing. I got like 44 out of 100, and that's how these are my marks. Let me set this up. Okay, so this is a list. Is this a list or tuple?
List.
List.
Sorry.
List.
Okay, cool. Now we have learned some string methods in the previous class. Okay, yeah.
So what error came? Like why did like 09? What error came?
See, it says 09. Okay, whenever even you can try in your calculator in your mobile as well. When you say 09, we're going to treat it as 9 itself. Okay, so 09 you don't have to in Python says you don't have to be more precise. You can say that directly say 9. You don't have to be say 09. Otherwise some might gonna give the Python the input like 0 0 0 0 0 0 and then 9. It totally doesn't make any sense, right? Okay, so that's
Okay.
why it's gave me an error. Okay,
Okay, so it will give an error if we put a 0 before any, like
Exactly.
we start a number with 0,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Let's check this out. What's the error? It says invalid token. It is not the right way to declare a like an integer. Okay, it's not a let me just move that. Okay, okay, for this. Okay, cool. Let me add some number 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 8, 2, 4, 5, 6, 2, 1, and 6, 7. So in the previous
What if
class, sorry,
So,
yeah.
so what if we took some input from the user and he enters 0, 9 as an input? How can we resolve that then? Because the program will give an error then.
That then you have to use a conditional statement in that as well. Okay. Suppose, okay,
sir.
just give you an example. If I take A, and I say, let me take it int, and I say input, and I said this, okay, and this is for a calculator. Okay, the first number will be given by the user itself. Suppose if I'm going to enter it up, it will going to say that you have to do the input. Now if I say string or whatsoever, I say string, is it takes it up, or it will gonna throw me an error?
Error.
Error. Why error?
It will take an
So it's not an integer.
Of
It is not an
typecasting.
integer.
Integer, right?
Typecasting.
Exactly. So what else I can do? I have I don't believe in the user. I don't have any trust in the user. So what I will do in the further class when we are going to learn the conditional statement. So what will I gonna do? I'll say if the type of A is equals to str, then do something. Then say that, then print incorrect input, invalid, or you can say incorrect input. Okay, then that's how you can handle this up. Okay, so we're gonna see that in the upcoming session. So for now, let's start this up. And the one thing that I want you to in the previous class we have experienced like string methods. Can you name some of the string methods right now? Some of the string methods.
Capitalize.
Capitalize, lower.
Okay, so
lower,
lower.
Count, upper, ends with, starts with length,
Less.
lower.
Okay.
Center.
And function.
So that's what we have used. We use some of the string methods in the list itself. Okay, we use some of the string method in the list itself. For the list, there are other methods. Okay, let's go and explore some of the methods. Suppose what this thing do. Sorry, what does this function do?
Returns the length of the list.
It will return the length.
Total number of values.
Total number of elements.
Number of elements in the list.
Okay, the total number of values is something else. Okay, the total number of values is something else. It's return the length of the list because it's the short convention of length. Okay, so now how to use this? Can I use this as grads? Can I use this as this? Can I use this function?
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Grades dot the other way
grades
around.
dot length.
Grades should be inside parentheses.
Okay. I heard that some says that it should be grades dot length dot this. Some said like this.
So len and inside parentheses grades.
Yeah, exactly, because the length function, that the person who might have wrote that length function has different syntax. Okay, the person says that if you want to use the length, that whatsoever you have to find the length of, you have to write inside the parentheses. Okay, now if I write grades, so what will be going to be the output? It will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or is it indexing like it will be 6? What will going to be the answer?
7.
Seven.
7, right? Okay, let's see. Yeah, you seem really nice, but can you just mute your mic off so that we can? Okay, cool. Okay, I have to do that. Okay, it's Sheetal who's doing that on. Let me mute this up. Let me move this up. Good. Okay, let me share my screen. Give me a confirmation if it's visible to you. Come on, guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this how you can find the length of the number or the strength of a list. Okay, so in the upcoming time we are going to use this up, and this function will be the most prominent that we are using, and most often when we are using the data analysis part, because it will going to tell us what's the number of columns and what the strength of the number of columns is. Okay, now what if I say I say that, see, what is the biggest number or the largest number, not the biggest but the largest number among all of this? Anyone?
98.
98.
98.
98.
98. So to find the largest numbers, these are, you have to be a very prominent in this stuff, because what we are learning now, we are going to use the data analysis part as well. Okay, now we have a function called max. Max is a short form of maximum. Okay, max is a short form of maximum. Okay, now max is that whatever you put into me, whatever, like it should be a list, I am going to tell you that what is the maximum in that particular list. Okay, then the syntax of this is, you have to write over here the list. Okay, now let me say grades. So what output should I be getting? It should be 21 or should be 98?
98.
98.
Should be 98.
Maximum 98, sir.
Exactly, it should be returning 98. And similarly, if I'm having a function called max, then definitely I will be having a function called, come on guys, you guys,
Min.
Min.
And what is the full form of min?
Minimum.
Minimum. And minimum goes like the same way. Now will it going to print 98, 34 or 24 or 21? Come on guys.
21.
21. Okay, let me see. It will going to print me 21 by 21 because it's the minimum value. Okay, now let's say, let me just repeat this.
Sir,
Yeah, please.
so how does max work with a list of strings?
Okay, list of strings or list of strings in a list?
Strings. Yeah, strings in a list.
Strings in a list. Okay, we can find it out. Not an issue. Now max works differently. Like I say L is equal, I say hello, I say world, I say what should I say? I say cat. Okay, now I say ALPH. Okay, so what according to you will going to be the output? So how max is exactly taking up? Will it going to treat up like whichever element has a larger numbers of value, larger number of characters, or the length of any value has the more, then I'm going to print that. What will going to be the approach of this? Let me this is worldy. Okay, any guesses?
ASCII values based on
ASCII value.
Error.
Some
Of
say-
first letter.
Okay, let's see. It prints me cat. It printed me cat. Why?
Because capital
Vast
letters have
index.
small ASCII values.
Yes.
Any more guesses? Any more guys? Anyone?
Smaller one gets the higher precedence.
Okay, it's not an hybrid distance, but the
ASCII
only
code.
thing is it's ASCII value. Okay, so the ASCII value has a a long list. We are going to discuss it in the tomorrow's class. Okay, so we are not going, because we are running out of time. I have to give you 2 or 3 more part as well. So the answer being this is, it will take it.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Python uses Unicode system, no?
Sorry.
Python uses Unicode system also, no?
Yes, yes. See,
Unicode.
Python uses a Unicode, but every function has different relation, right? When I say this max has been created by someone else, right? So what exactly his or her ideology was is totally depend upon them. Okay, so that's the only difference between that. So this is for the ASCII value. We are going to discuss the ASCII value tomorrow because we are running short of time. Some more stuff that I want to show you is that, how about, have you guys know the word, what is this? What does this word is and what exactly this word means?
Sorting.
Arranging.
Sort.
What does sorting do? What does the word sorting do?
Arranging
Moves from ascending to descending.
Either in
Arranges in
ascending or descending order.
or descending order.
Okay, cool. So
Searching for the value.
no, so not searching for the value. Sorts. What if I say that take 1, 2, 3 and whatsoever and just sort it out? Sort it out. That way you just sort it up in a either in a ascending value or in a descending value. Did you get that?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no,
Yes, sir,
something.
yes.
You know, you have to say
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Or no. Okay, cool. Now I say, what was my list? What was my list? It was grades. Let me just print the grades. Okay. Let me just print this up. Okay, cool. So this is, tell me this, is this in the values inside the list are sorted or unsorted?
Unsorted.
Sorted.
They are unsorted, right? Now, if I say grades, now the syntax for the sorted is that you have to give it the list. Okay. Now you have to use the sorted function. Okay, and that's it. Okay. So now if I hit enter, so by default, so okay, let me print the grades. GRADES. So you can see the list has been sorted. So is it in ascending order or descending order? Come on, guys.
Ascending order.
Ascending order. Ascending order.
In ascending order, right? It's in ascending order. Okay. So what does sorted do? Sort says that by default, if you're not going to give me any parameter, okay, you can see that there's a parameters coming up. Okay, key is equal to none, reverse equal to false. So by default, the descending part is being, associated with the false part. So by default, it is taking the ascending. Now, if I say REVER, reverse is equals to true. Okay, now I just run this up. So when I run this part, grade, so will it be 21 and whatsoever till 19, or it should be 98, and then it will be going to
Descending order.
It will descending order.
Reverse the value.
exactly it does. Okay, suppose I take, let me take, this will be a really kind of fun. AL is equals to A, B, C, and D. Okay, let me sort it out. E, and I say it as F, and let's say as Z. Okay. Now, if I say APL dot SORT, what will going to be my output? Whether it's gonna sort it out or not? If it's gonna sort it out, how? What ideology it will going to take it? Because all of these are not numbers; they are not integers; they are strings. So what will going to be the output, guys? Let me run this up as well. Now, if I print APL, what will going to be my output? It will remain the same, throws me an error, or what will it will gonna do according to your ideology? Come on, guys.
BDFZ.
ASCII values that are associated with the letters.
According to the
Words
ASCII
according to the
values,
ASCII values.
Okay, give me the output.
BDFZ.
Okay, BDFZ. Okay, let's try it out, and it is exactly the same. BDFZ. Okay, so it goes in a very like a very old-fashioned way that A comes first, B comes second. You can say it follows the ASCII value as well. You can. Okay, so it totally depends upon that, but that's the only stuff. You can do the reversing using this part, or otherwise, if you don't want to reverse this up like this, okay, you can use a key function called as reverse. How to use that? GRADES dot reverse. Okay, the same way it goes like this. Even though if I run this up, okay, now do you think there is any changes in the output?
No, so it's altered.
No. when I say reverse, it will gonna reverse this up. It won't see that it has been reversed earlier or not. Okay.
Yes.
Now the new list was this. Now when I run reverse, now it will gonna reverse. So it's totally up to you whether you want to reverse this way or like you want to, going to reverse this way. So it's totally up to you. So I think that's all for today. We have discovered the entire thing of the list. One thing, this is the basic list. Okay, everything has a basic part and the advanced part. So after completing the data structure, we are looking to the advanced data structure. So now we have learned basic list. We have covered basic list. Tomorrow we are going to learn the data structure, but after that we are going to learn advanced list. And if I say advanced list, what the other name for this advanced list is? List comprehension. Okay, we wanna learn how to optimize the code using the list comprehension. And when we are going to learn the loop, when we are going to learn the conditional statement, then we're going to see that how we can add the values, how I can make it in a such a way so that the user will gonna give the input and it will automatically be added into the list. Because now what we have done, we have only done a variable, single variable. Okay, now I have only done like this. The user will going to give me an output and I'm going to assign it in a variable. But what happen if I want to assign it in a list? Okay, some might say, how about I can repeat this up. A is equal to this, another variable this, and this. Suppose this might be B, C, D, E, and F, and I would say I'll make a list. Okay guys, one thing, when I say this is a list and I say this is hello, so what statement can you draw? Is the list empty or is the list contains something?
The list contains something.
It's not empty.
empty. Yes, not empty, not empty.
It's not empty. But if I remove this up, can I say that the list is empty?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
No doubt in that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right?
No elements.
No elements there. So in the upcoming time, because most of the students forget that for the concept of being the list empty, upcoming time we are gonna when we are using the looping part, when we are using the if and else condition, we are going to consider this the empty string part. Okay, now if I say list append A, and I repeat this up for the entire part. I say for B, for C, for D, and for E. Okay, I say B, I say C, I say D, I say E. Okay, sorry, let me run this up. Okay, sorry.
It will show error because
Yeah,
the
let me give it a number.
naming of the variable.
It will be C.
So we can't use a list number. It's
Exactly. You cannot, assign this into the list, because when I use the list, you can see that it has already shown me a warning. Okay. Even though if I try this up like 3, 4, 5, and 6, okay, it worked it out. But it worked it out only in this shell. Okay, it worked it out only in this shell. Okay, now let me use list. Okay, this is the variable that I have assigned all and appended all the values, right? Now if I'm going to run this sub, will it going to show me the values that I have appended, or it will going to show me an error?
errors.
Error.
Why error? Because I have used this as a assignment. This is a variable now. Why error over here? Come on guys, come on.
That's a reserved
The
keyword.
cells are independent.
It's a reserved keyword.
List is a keyword.
It's going to be 1, 2, 1, 4, 5. Even though if I try this up, suppose I say 89, 98, 90, 78, 67, and 78. Now if I print the list, now it had printed me 89, 98, 89, 78, and 67. Are these values are in there? See, they are in here. right? So why didn't it print an error? Because we have already discussed that it cannot be assigned as list. Why did it printed me an error? Anyone? Anyone?
Sir, it's not a good way to represent a variable.
No, that's a perfect thing. It's not a good way to represent it, but why not error? Why not error? It should be an error, but why not error?
Sir, we pointed
It
out
is a
to empty
different
list
type of
without any
error.
elements in the list.
Sorry?
It is an error only.
Here actually the way we are assigning the elements, they are
Yeah.
not being assigned in the way that we have given.
Okay,
They're
cool.
jumbled.
Okay, they have jumbled it. Any more, you want to add something?
Sir, first we declared empty list, means without any elements.
Okay, cool. So the thing
it
is,
is
if
not
the thing is that the problem remains. It's not actually a problem, but the Jupyter and the notebooks specifically are designed in a way that you can use everything, and it has to be inside this shell. And the particular shell is totally independent of the working from the others. But if you rerun the same code in an editor, what an editor, when I say that it's a Jupyter notebook, the Jupyter notebook will gonna run the cell by cell. But when you are going to implement the same way into the the VS Code or in the any editor, it will going to throw you an error. Like in a way, if I say hello world, okay. If I'm going to run this up, what will going to be the output?
Hello world.
Hello world. So that's what your Jupyter notebook provides you. That the notebook provides you. It's either Jupyter or Colab. But if you just try to print the same thing in your editor, in your VS Code, it won't gonna print out anything until and unless you provide it a print function. Okay, so that's a bit limitation between among the two, and that's what make them a unique part. Okay. So we have done, okay. So the concept that I was about to tell you, that suppose if I want to take 6 input and you want to add each element into a list. So you have to go through entire this process. But in the upcoming time, we can see that how can we make all this in just a single line. That's called code optimization. That's called advanced listing. And in a short form, we call it as the concept is known as the list comprehension. Okay. Now the time has been running out. Let's summarize what all we have learned today. Summary. Okay. So tell me guys, what all have you learned today? Starting with the first part.
Replace function.
Okay. Replace. Second.
Then the
See
Python
difference
data
between
structures.
Remove, pop,
Tuples, dictionary set.
See,
all these functions.
there's crude operation. Can I add this up?
Yes.
Okay. You have experienced the crude operation, how to do that. So entire
Append.
Append also comes in the
List methods.
Insert.
Append, extend,
Insert. Extend.
Extends.
insert,
That's great.
Remove. Pop. Delete.
remove, pop, delete,
Anything else?
Maximum, minimum,
maximum, minimum,
Okay.
List
and sort.
indexing.
sort,
Anything else?
Indexing.
Empty list.
Okay, we have learned about indexing and slicing as well, right? Indexing and slicing.
Yes,
More about indexing and slicing. That will be we can say that more about indexing and slicing. Okay, the list being the majorly the large, more bigger concept that takes in the major of the time. The dictionary being the one most, and sets and tuples we don't usually use it in the entire while we are dealing with the software industry. We don't usually use the tuple. We somewhere use tuples, but majorly it's being the list and the dictionary that has been came into an account. So that's all from today. For tomorrow, we're going to start with dictionary. So we have already crossed the time limit. Let me just stop the sharing. Let me stop the video.